Hello. I hope we're doing well today. I'm doing especially good. Christmas was great for me. Transformative in a way I couldn't have expected. I'm gonna try to explain it, and I don't think I'm gonna do a great job. Because this was the lesson. Everyone in my life is an idol. That was it. Everyone I interacted with the ideal of them, with the concept that I made in my head of them. And none of those concepts were real. They were my interpretation of a full human, a full expression of God. Compacted down to like a caricature in my head, on a shelf among hundreds of others of every person I meet. Like a little doll, a little action figure that you play with, and you decide what that person is saying. You decide what's going on in their head. And then you interact with them. And sometimes that lines up with the real world. You'll interact with that person in real life, and it will line up with the fake idea in your head. So it makes sense. This seems like this works. So let's keep doing it. But then, so often, unless you're trained and unless you've taken the time to really figure out how that person acts, you're kind of lost. You meet a stranger, you've never met them before, you don't know what to believe about them, so you just kind of take a wild guess. It's you look like this person, and you have an attitude like this person I know, and that person acts like this. So I'm going to treat you like that person. I'm going to decide who you are for you. And immediately believe I'm right. And damn, you're never right. You're never right. So long as you think you know a person, you're doing them a disservice because they're unknowable. They are the infinite. They are abundance. They're everything. They're everyone. And in every moment, that face that you meet can be different. There's no one identity. So, when you interact with people in a one-faced identity sort of way, that person is an idol. And some of them you hate, some of them you love. You don't need to want to gain everyone's favor. That's not what I mean by idolatry. I'm not necessarily worshiping everyone, but I'm only seeing them in this miniaturized form, this limiting idea that only exists in the bounds here. When you're in the illusion and fully bought in, you can trick yourself into believing that you're in that other place. You're of that higher mind. And often, at least I can only say for myself, when that happens, what I'm really doing is I'm just kind of having a good day. I'm in a good mood, thinking happy thoughts, but still very much within the borders of the ego. Very much what's going on in here is coming from the perspective of Tom rather than from the perspective of the one producing these words. Wherever this is coming from, that source, that true source of self. It's easy to put a name on that. And when you're in that story, even if you want to get out of it, you only have the concept of other selves. You only have the concept of other characters that might be able to help you, that might be able to save you. So you look to them for help. But every time you're doing that, you are looking for salvation in an illusion. Because the person you're going for help is not that person. That person that you're going for help is an idol, a dead idea in your head. You're stuck in your head. The whole point is to be in this moment. So if you're stuck in your head, talking to a version of someone in your head, asking them for advice, you're only going to stay stuck in your head. Like I said, I don't think I'm doing a great job explaining this, but perhaps you understand what I'm saying. As you look to idols for help, you're looking for help within a world of limitation, where a person can only be this, this, and this. Where previous Leons have to be followed up upon. You need to know what happens next in the story, and it needs to be linear in this way that follows the average story structure of every story you've ever heard. Limiting. There's no room to say, hey, no, why doesn't everything just change now? Let's just swerve at this moment. Let's not build to a big change. Let's just let that change happen now. That's impossible when you're living in a story. Or at least for me it is. At least for me, when I think about that, I'll say, well, that's just not realistic. People don't change that way. Because I can only perceive the world as existing within the world of stories that have come before. And in all of the stories that have come before, there is no you're not really told you're allowed to change whenever you'd like. That everything is allowed to get better whenever you'd like. But reality is open. Reality is this. It's not inside the head. It is It is. It just is. Every moment that you have to spend to justify it to yourself, to explain it to yourself, that only keeps you within instead of seeing things for what they are in every moment. I feel that so often in my life I'll feel confused or overwhelmed in the moment, and I'll find myself being like, what's going on? Like, what's happening right now? How did I get to this point? And in the moment, I'll be trying to like recount what's been going on. Like, how did I get to this moment? All the while I'll be talking to someone, not hearing anything they're saying because I'm trying to justify and explain what's going on to me, only putting myself more behind. When you're stuck in this loop of like what's going on and you're trying to explain what's going on, you always are going to be catching up. You always are going to need to, you're always going to be behind. There's always going to be that lack of not understanding the reality of this situation. It's when that explanation goes away. It's when there is no need to judge. There's no need to judge what's happening, only to participate in what's happening. Understanding, putting all of these things together, that there is no character you need to play to be right. Like there is no person that you are supposed to be. You're just supposed to be. And that can look different in every situation. So much so that when you allow yourself to be, you'll find yourself saying things you've never considered this character would say before, doing things that you never considered this person would do, because you're reacting naturally to what is. You see a need and you give that need. You join the current. The way I explained it was like, I'm for the first time seeing the boundaries of the dream. So often I will find myself here in life, in the one moment, fully sorry, I'm kind of overtaken by it in this moment as I'm experiencing it. But so often I'll find myself here and I'll remember this moment, and then it'll be like cut to, I'll be somewhere else, and I'll realize that I'm realizing my life is not as perfect as it is in this moment. And there will be that acknowledgement of lack and realizing, oh, I'm back in the dream. And then it's like I have to crawl my way out. I don't know how to get out, but I know like I have these routines. I know if I do this, eventually I'll get back out. I have things that tether me to this place. But now I can see what's happening in those moments that I'm not noticing is the judgment is beginning. I'm in an interaction with a person and I cannot see them for who they are. I can only see them for the idea of them that I hold in my head. And if you have to hold it in your head, you need to take time to compute and understand in this situation, you have to do this, this, and this, and that only puts you behind. That's when the dream veils over you. And since I've noticed that, granted it's only been a few days, but the dream can't hold me anymore. It's like I will see myself slipping in, and immediately now I catch it. Hey, you're judging. Hey, you're putting value on something. You're not allowing it to exist. I've caught a snag. I hope this makes sense. Because, like, truly, it feels like a rebirth. I was gonna title this video Reborn on Christmas, but I think that's a little too extra. But that's really what it felt like. It's like I was given not a new life, but fuller life. For certain, a chapter in my life is, I don't even want to say that because that's kind of antithetical to everything I've said. But, my base is stronger than ever. My foundation feels concrete. I'm fully, more able for the first time to fully, live into this field of, everything, love, creation, God, all of it. It's like I can stand with my feet planted for the first time. I hope you had a good Christmas if you celebrate, and a good Thursday if you didn't. Please have a blessed rest of your day. I love you. Peace.